The sound of racing hooves was heard, and Zhu Heixin and Jiang Weishan had also arrived, just moments behind them. Their arrival caused Lu Yutong to feel greatly relieved. She jumped off her own horse and began to set free Ling Dongxing and the others so that Ling Han would not have anything to worry about. "Father, quick, swallow this Protect Origin pill." Ling Han took out a pill bottle, and from within, he took out a green-colored pill before feeding it to Ling Dongxing. Ling Dongxing had no special feelings about this. Since it was his son giving it to him, he'd just swallow it obediently. But Zhu Heixin and Jiang Weishan had both widened their eyes in shock. For this Protect Origin pill was also an alchemical pill that had been lost in the passage of time, and its effects were even better than the reverse pill. Although the reverse pill had a very powerful name, but compared to the Protect Origin pill. To put it simply, there was actually a very big gap between the two. Both these pills were yellow-grade, mid-level alchemical pills, but they were very difficult to concoct. See, Zhu Xin and Jiang Weishan had already obtained the complete pill formula long ago, yet had not yet concocted the reverse pill even after so many days of hard work. Yet Ling Han had now taken out a Protect Origin pill, an alchemical pill that was even more difficult to concoct. How could the two of them not be utterly astonished at this? Ling Han handed a Protect Origin pill to the remaining 10+ survivors of the Ling clan. This Protect Origin pill was the result of his efforts to improve upon the basic reverse pill, so of course its effects were even better. "Big brother Han, Daxiang is dead. Daddy and Mommy are dead too. Woo, woo." Ling Zixuan wept as she lay weakly in Ling Han's arms. However, no tears fell from her eyes, for her tears had long dried up. "I will avenge Daxiang. I will avenge everyone." Ling Han lightly rubbed the little girl's back and said, "Xuanhuan, be good. Go to sleep, and when you wake up, everything will be better." The little girl nodded. After the suffering that she had experienced these 4 days, she had long reached her limits, and very soon fell asleep in Ling Han's arms. Ling Han handed the little girl over to Liu Yu Tong before his eyes returned to Cheng Kun, killing intent burning in them. Although Hun Yu had been tied up and bundled onto the saddle, lying on her side, as she had grown up at the side of a fierce tiger since very young, she was extremely sensitive towards killing intent. She suddenly raised her head and a "How! How!" sound came from her mouth. She was obviously very excited. "How is this possible? How could you possibly manage to form 5 flashes of sword chi?" Cheng Kun got to his feet after much struggle. His nose had been flattened. One side of his mouth was bent out of shape, and his face was completely covered with blood. "How do you want to die?" Ling Han said in a deep voice. "Would you like to be torn limb from limb or dismembered, or perhaps have your head shattered? I will allow you the chance to choose your own death." "Little bastard, don't you be arrogant. Even if you have formed 5 flashes of sword chi, it's useless. In front of absolute power, your only end would still be death." Cheng Kun taunted. "When my 3rd uncle arrives, all of you will die." Ling Han shook his head and said, "When I heard you say this, I really thought that I was facing a profligate, spoiled young master in his teens, who only knows how to use the adults of his clan as a threat and scare tactic. Humph, when that old creature arrives, I will naturally cut off his dog head." "Nonsense." "Ah!" Cheng Kun screamed painfully. He was once again kicked down to the ground by Ling Han. He was filled with immeasurable rage and humiliation. To have another person step on his face was the most humiliating thing in the world, and the one who had stepped on him was furthermore his sworn enemy's son. It was already enough that he could not defeat Ling Dongxing, but now even Ling Dongxing's son had the ability to step on his face. How could he bear such a thing? And at this moment, the townspeople had all come out to watch the oncoming show after hearing the news, and those who lived nearer had all arrived. When they saw Ling Han with an awe-inspiring presence and stepping on Cheng Kun's face, it was as if everyone had turned into stone. Before the appearance of Cheng Jiyu, everyone in Grey Cloud Town had recognized Ling Dongxing and Cheng Kun as the strongest elite martial artists of the town, both being in the 9th layer of Element Gathering tier, with no one else being a match for either of them. And now this person, who had once been recognized as the strongest of them all, was actually stepped on by Ling Han. How could any one of them believe their own eyes? Ling Han had once possessed the grand reputation of being trash of the worst quality. Many of the disciples of Grey Cloud Academy recalled the words that Lu Yutong had once spoken. After 3 months, Ling Han would become an existence that everyone could only look up to. Indeed, he was now even able to step on Xuanhuan Kun. Whom amongst them would not look up to him? But the problem now was, the strongest warrior in Grey Cloud Town was Cheng Jiyu, an elite martial artist of gushing spring tier. No matter how powerful Ling Han was, how could he be more powerful than gushing spring tier? He's done for. Once Cheng Jiyu arrives, Ling Han would definitely be finished. It's really too bad for a genius of his caliber. Otherwise, he may even be able to become a powerful warrior of spiritual ocean tier in the future. Spiritual ocean tier. You really dare to say that. That would mean being as strong as the Dayuan king. Think about it. Ling Han is only 17 years old now, but he is already able to step on Xuanhuan Kun like this. How scary is his talent? That's true. The spectators all murmured to each other. All of them were not optimistic about Ling Han, thinking that he had come back to surrender to his death. The formidable prowess of gushing spring tier was embedded deep in the bones of all of them, especially in a small town like Grey Cloud Town. For them, a warrior of gushing spring tier could practically be considered a god. Hang! It was at this moment that a figure flew out from the town. The figure was moving extremely fast. Even the speed of a galloping horse could not match its speed. Within a mere instant, the figure had already appeared at a near distance. It was Cheng Jiyu. Little bastard, so you are Ling Han? That evil fiend that has killed my grandson? Cheng Jiyu's eyes were fixed upon Ling Han, his stare as intense as if he wanted to devour Ling Han. I am Ling Han, and today will be the day of your death, Ling Han replied in kind. Ha ha! I am a powerful warrior of gushing spring tier. What ability do you have to take my life? Cheng Jiyu did not feel in a rush to act. This was the chief culprit who had killed his grandson. He wanted to slowly torture this little bastard to death. And if we fight too? Zhu Heixing and Jiang Weishan both stepped forwards. And who the heck are you? Yi! Cheng Jiyu was initially indifferent, but when his eyes fell upon the two people who had spoken, his expression suddenly changed and he gasped in shock. Gushing spring tier. Not just gushing spring tier, but there were 2 of such powerful warriors in front of his eyes. What? The townspeople all gasped in shock. These 2 ordinary-looking old men were actually also powerful warriors of gushing spring tier. Hiss! No wonder Ling Han dared to return. So he had actually obtained the assistance of 2 such elites of gushing spring tier. Cheng Jiyu's face turned serious. He no longer had any intention of underestimating these 2 men, and said, My 2 brothers, this brat has killed my grandson. No matter what benefits he has promised you, I will offer you double the amount, so please do not interfere. Zhu Xin and Jiang Weishan exchanged a look, before bursting into laughter simultaneously. Offer them double the amount? Who the f*** do you think you are? How many pill formula do you have in your possession? And how much understanding do you have in the field of alchemy that you actually dare to make such an overly exaggerated promise? How dare you? Young friend Ling's problem is also our problem, Jiang Weishan said. Cheng, if you surrender, I can promise to beg for a bit of mercy from young friend Ling on your behalf, and grant you a swift death. Young friend Ling? Sigh! Everyone either sucked air in abruptly between their bared teeth or gasped. These 2 powerful warriors of gushing spring tier actually addressed Ling Han, young friend, and completely appeared as if they were willing to share all of Ling Han's burdens with him. What kind of relationship was this? Fortunately, neither Zhu Heixin or Jiang Weishan had worn the badges that proved their alchemist identity, or these townspeople would be even more astonished, for black-grade low-level alchemists possessed an even higher status than powerful warriors of gushing spring tier. Must the 2 of you do this? Cheng Jiyu said in a deep voice. He had just broken through to gushing spring tier, so his confidence level was off the charts. Moreover, he definitely did not believe that these 2 powerful warriors of gushing spring tier would go all out for Ling Han. He could not think of anything that would cause them to do such a thing. Peng, 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 peng. From a distance away, dirt and soil was flying in all directions as a group of riders was quickly making its way over. "Brother Ling, I've brought my people to give you a hand." A young man jumped off his horse and said to Ling Han, raising his clasped hands in the latter's direction. His group of riders had very quickly arrived nearby. It was Bai Li Tangyun.